Hi, um, my name is Ella Barclay, and I am makeupless today. I don't care, but I decided I'd speak out on this because it's been a couple of days. I've been watching what's going on TV. Um, I'm appalled. However, I'm going to make this video today for you because I'd like you to know that I have experienced what you're watching on TV firsthand. Um, After spending many years in the United States, um, I ventured to Birmingham, Alabama, and I'm not sure what repercussions I'll have from this, but I ventured to Birmingham, Alabama, where one of my favorite artists that I work with, um, Loyal Thieves, artists Vices and JKO reside, to hook up with this young group and spend like a weekend with them where we'd be having meetings and talking about music and stuff like that. So this was my second time venturing to Birmingham, and I was very excited. um, I called the boys and told them that I'd be coming. They were expecting me. The ages of the young artists that I met um, were 20, um, 18, and 15. Um, to my knowledge, none of them had been incarcerated, um, and they were young, very innocent. My loves, my woes, my day ones, my heart. I love them so much. Well, I arrived in Birmingham. I took a cab to my hotel. Um, I unpacked, put everything away, and I noticed that there was a Publix market near the hotel. What I decided was I would go to the Publix market because um, I wanted to meet my group and the guys from Loyal Thieves there. I wanted to. They were kids, so I wanted to treat them to whatever they wanted at the grocery store. I wanted to meet them, and I said, and they met me. They arrived in JKO's truck. There were three of them: Vice's, JKO, and Vice's little brother, George. George is an up-and-coming videographer, very sharp kid. So I arrived at the grocery store, and I said, when they arrived, hey, here I am. Come on, come into the grocery store. And like kids in a candy store, I said to them, just go ahead and choose whatever you want. And I pushed the cart, and they were skipping along like little kids. And this was probably maybe 7 o'clock, 7 something in the evening. They were skipping around the supermarket, and they were choosing what they wanted. Um, and they were getting cookies and chips and some candy and chocolate and some drinks, some sweet drinks and stuff like that. I don't do soda, so they were doing soda, stuff like that. And so we proceeded to the checkout. They loaded everything onto the checkout table. The checker checked it. I paid for the groceries. I paid for all our snacks, and I was excited. We bagged everything up and walked in a foursome to JKO's truck. All of us walking together. Vices, JKO, Georgie, and Ella. And of course I knew what they all had on because we were all together. So when we walked to the car. I got in the car, and JK was the driver, and we all drove back to my hotel. The hotel was and JK was the driver, and we all drove back to my hotel. The hotel was probably no more than 200 or 300 feet away from Publix Market. So that's not very far at all. So we arrived at Publix Market and parked the truck, and we all walked together into the hotel. I went ahead and we went into the hotel room. I closed the door. There was a meeting area, seating area in my room, and that's where I intended for us to have a meeting. So I started to unpack our snacks, started to lay them out onto the table, getting ready for our meeting. Now imagine now, this is in Birmingham, Alabama, this year. Probably, we're in the month of July, so this was probably in the month of April, May 2016. I elected to reside at a hotel that was slightly outside of the Birmingham suburban metro area, so very small. And I elected it because I thought, it's convenient. It's gonna be acceptably diverse, and stuff like that. So I had been warned. I think I'll leave that out. I've been told that I should not walk from my hotel to the supermarket because alongside the road, I do this all the time in New York, do this all the time in California. I had no idea why I shouldn't do it in Birmingham. However, I was warned, and I'm not saying who, um, because I would be either arrested or the cops would stop me or something like that, or I would be reported, and I didn't understand it. However, I brushed it off. Back to the story. We were in our hotel room, conference area, took all the groceries and I laid them out, got ready for our meeting. And my three artists said, "Hey, Ella, we're going outside to the truck because we left our book, the comp book that you guys, the rappers, write in, the black and white one." So they're like, "Well, we're going to the truck to go and get our book because um, we need it for our meeting." I said, "Great, go get it." And I'm sitting in the room. And let's hypothetically say it's like 8 o'clock. And I'm waiting. And I'm waiting. And I'm waiting. And I'm waiting. And 20 minutes has gone. And I'm worried. And I'm wondering why. And at this time, of course, my phone ringer was off all the way down. And I had a little inkling, something said, "Check your phone." I saw my phone ringing, no ringtone. However, I could see that it was coming from one of the artists. I missed the call. Then I got a text message, and it said, "Miss Ella, come out to the lobby immediately. Hurry as soon as you can." This is at a Best Western Plus hotel outside in the suburbs of Birmingham, Alabama in 2016. This was my meeting with my babies, my sweeties, my heart, loyal thieves, vices. I immediately, of course, I didn't trip out. I immediately walked as fast as I could out to the lobby. The lobby was at the front door, of course, of the hotel as well. As soon as I got there, shock, disbelief, there were two cops standing in the lobby next to my artist. The 15-year-old was seated on the lobby sofa by the front door, handcuffed. JKO, the driver, 20-year-old, was sitting on the lobby, hands behind his back, handcuffed. Vices, my main vocal rapper artist, was nowhere in sight. There were two cops standing there. One was Caucasian, one looked mixed, maybe perhaps Latina. Of course, I'm coming from California. I'm coming from Atlanta. I'm in shock. And I'm wondering what these artists could have done after leaving my hotel room, walking right out to the courtyard to get their notebooks and returned back to the room, what they could have done. I'm thinking, what could they have stolen? What crime could they have committed? They certainly didn't need money because when I got there, they had wads. They pulled it out and showed it to me. So they didn't need money. They certainly didn't need food. I had taken them to the supermarket and we had bought all the food necessary for our meeting. And I'm wondering, and I'm in shock. And I have never actually had an encounter with the police before, ever, for as long as I have lived in California or any other state. And so I tripped out and I'm yelling, "What's going on? What's going on?" Immediately, the male cop says to me, "Shut up! Shut up! Get over there. Sit down on the sofa. Sit down. If you don't shut up, you're going to be taken in the car and you're going to be arrested." Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God, what did I do? Oh my God. And of course, I'm a pretty brazen Gemini. So I'm about to answer this cop back and I'm about to tell him, "Shut the up. Who in the hell are you? I am a respectable, mature citizen that has done nothing. These boys have been by my side from the time we were together at the supermarket. So why are you holding them?" As soon as I opened my mouth to say something, they yelled at me and said, "Shut up. Didn't we tell you to shut up? Sit down. Get over there. And don't go back to your room. Don't go back anywhere." At this time, I was being held. And I was informed by the cops that I had to sit there while they completed their investigation, an investigation that I didn't know anything about. I had no idea what had happened. All they said was, "We are investigating them. These boys were identified and we're holding them." I politely asked where his vice is. I could hardly get one word in. And I was informed to shut up. He was being held in the cop's car, this 18-year-old rapper that had just graduated from high school. He was being held in the cop's car and being detained and being questioned. I was in complete shock. I have never encountered this in the United States, and I never thought I would. However, I'm not going to drag this story out, but it took probably 3 to 4 hours, and I had to sit there with these young boys handcuffed. By now, they're in extreme pain because the handcuffs were so tight. And I'm wondering, what the heck am I going to say to their parents? What am I going to do? These little boys have been arrested or held, rather, along with me, and we don't know what the crime is. On top of that, one of them is missing, locked in a cop's car. So after 3 or 4 hours, a very tall African-American detective walks in. And I say, "What's going on? We're so tired." And he says to me, "Right down around Publix supermarket, there is a pizza store. There is a Pizza Hut. And these boys were identified, at least one or two of these rappers were identified as the thieves, for a robbery that just occurred there a couple of hours ago, where the store was held at gunpoint. And they have identified positively, one of them has been identified positively by one person, and iffy by a second person, that these are the culprits." So now I'm sitting there and I'm wondering to myself, how in the hell is this happening? Am I freaking dreaming? Is this a joke? Am I on stage? Am I in Hollywood? And am I on camera? Am I in 45 minutes? Mind you, I traveled to the hotel with a little carry-on bag that was probably no more than 24 by 20 inches. That's all I had. However, they climbed the walls in the hotel room looking for a weapon. While they were checking the room, when they got done, they came and they said, okay, will you guys get into a line, follow into a line, and follow us to your hotel room door? I said, okay. I followed them. They told us to sit on the floor in front of my hotel door, room door. I sat on the floor with the rappers. And they said, wait here. We need to still talk to you and investigate this because these guys have been identified positively. So we sat on the floor for maybe another hour. Finally, we were allowed back in my hotel room, our meeting room. However, had a meeting and were told that these guys had been positively identified for the robbery, held at gunpoint. At this time, they are still suspects and they're still probably the criminals. My story it didn't help them at all. It didn't make any sense, and as I repeated it probably 50,000 times, and they still didn't believe that they were with me. So we went back in the room, and we were told that they would be investigating them, and that they would go back to watch the camera tapes at the Pizza Hut that evening to see if it was the Loyal Thief artist. And if it was the Loyal Thief artist, they would be coming back for us. They would be coming to get them, me, and we would all be arrested. This was my experience in Birmingham, Alabama. This was a short weekend trip from Atlanta to Birmingham, Alabama. And you know, when all of this was done and I met with the artists, I said to them, I can't believe this. They said, well, Miss Ella, we told you. We told you. And I was in shock. The reality is, this is so alive in the United States. And it took me days to come forward to relate this story to the public because I'm still in shock from the encounter and I am still in disbelief. And I wanted you to know what it feels like when a cop yells at you and tells you to shut up, don't move. And if you feel that if you say anything or move, the next thing is you'll be shot. And I just wanted you guys to know that this year in 2016 in Birmingham, Alabama, I experienced this with Loyal Thieves, artists, my artists, Vices, JKO, and videographer Georgie. I want you guys to know that this is so real and it's happening. And I think that in conclusion, I think that what needs to happen is that we are accepting recruits into the police academy. However, I think that what's lacking is the psychological assessment and training part of new recruits. I don't think these guys are being properly assessed, and I think that they're being passed through a loophole when some of them clearly psychologically are not equipped to be cops. Thanks for listening to my story. And if you have stories which are similar, these are the type of things that will help bring out and solidify the truth. Not guns, not killing. I understand the total frustration because I remember thinking to myself, I'm standing here and if I make one move, I could be shot and killed for something that never occurred. Be wise. Love you guys.